Okay, about ready to kick off game 2. If you guys could introduce yourselves for my...
Andrew Verticchio from Chicago Dice.
I have some.
And there's
Thompson, also from Chicago.
All right. Can you go over your army list for the viewers for my
channel? Well, they're all kind of bunched together right now.
That's fine. They're gorgeous, I'll tell you that much.
Thank you. So in Andrew's force, well, first we got the bombs up front. That's just a partisan thing.
Okay.
Andrew's force has, I believe it's 3 rifle squads. Every squad has a Panzerfaust. 2 of them have SMGs.
And these are regulars?
These are all regulars,
okay.
Yep. He's also got his first lieutenant, a sniper team, a flamethrower team, and 2 inexperienced pistol squads that you can see on the sides that are in their trucks.
And how many guys are in a pistol squad?
12 men.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly how many fit in a truck, so it's perfect.
Well, that's a lot of shots. You don't suffer the assault, and you usually get to point blank in a truck or something.
Yeah.
And nice. That's cool.
And then my force is a lieutenant, a sniper, a flamethrower, a medium mortar, and then I have 3 squads of 10 and 1 squad of 9 that are all rifle squads with a Panzerfaust. 2 of them have an SMG as well.
Okay.
And then my final squad is an 8-man veteran SMG squad.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got 1 bazooka?
Oh yes, sorry, I forgot to mention that. He's got 1 bazooka, 1 regular bazooka.
And do the trucks have guns?
They have a MMG on each of them.
Okay. Inexperienced or regular trucks?
Regular trucks.
Okay. Good combo. Good combo. All right. Awesome. Thanks. All right. So we're putting out all our stuff. And we got a bunch of partisans along there, a whole mass of humanity. They have a ton of them still in outflank. We've got some of our stuff in outflank. Got my Clown Panzer flamethrower. Well, actually, flamethrower's not. Got that squad, truck, and squad all in outflank. I got to really watch my tanks for the run out of fuel. They had to be 12 away from the objectives.
6 for the bombs.
Oh, I thought you said 12.
Not in their deployment zone, though. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
Could be good.
Alright, we're on somewhere in a little bit of a turn 2. We got just some activations here to control this token. We're working our way up to that token. That one's looking pretty decent for now, but he's just got tons of guys. Tons of guys. So that's not good. Gonna have to get into some nice positions and hold on. Try to keep him from being contested. Update. We got some ambush going on. It's got a lot of reserve still coming out flank, trying to hold these tokens. It's getting really, really strenuous. These guys are playing it tough, making it hard. Don't like it, but it's actually a really, really interesting, fun game so far. A lot of cat and mouse stuff going on. All right.
Is that full turn?
Probably have 1 turn after this, and that'll be it. End of the game, that was, did I do this? Did I videotape this? End of the game, we ended up holding off, held that objective. My Clown Panzer
you want the veterans to absorb shots.
Unit and popped the truck. But really, and that was probably the most dicey cat and mouse game where really everyone was stalling.
At least you're not paying bad.
Everyone was just waiting. It was a really, really good, very dramatic. Liked it. We have a flurry of great shots and a flurry of garbage. It was just back and forth.
It's only okay.
So, like, hits my tank with a mortar, then rolls a 1, I think, on the next one. Twice.
Hit it twice, just rolled 1 for pins. That's what it was.
Yeah.
No damage.
So, yep, that was good. Ran out of fuel, but didn't hurt me too bad. That did affect my gameplay. I was not moving much because I didn't want to run out of fuel. Well done, well done. Great army, great opponents. Alright, gang, so yeah, this was a great match. So this is basically at the end of turn 1. With me having fuel shortage on my tanks and the possibility of running out, I basically had to align them all to be able to do an advance move and get to a token. So at least if they ran out of fuel, they'd be a permanent contester unless you could knock the tank out. So that's why I got that 1 Panzer III. However, our KG opponents put these little partisan bombs all over these things. So there's one like in between that house and that Panzer III, and if you go within 6 inches of a partisan bomb, they roll a dice. On a 6, I believe, it explodes and does a heavy howitzer hit. So that's pretty brutal. And if you looked at the new FAQ that just came out yesterday or the day before, it now doesn't do with a template. It does 4d6 hits at +4. So you're basically dead if that goes off. But we had to do some risking on these things a little bit. But yeah, so they're deployed all across the middle. On the left, there's a token in that field. I have one Panzer III over there, and then my Panzer III with the medium tank gun is on the right. They don't have anything other than some trucks, so I'm just running it as if it's a machine gun bunker. So I got it lined up to move into a token as well. So yeah, the opponents here were really good. They knew their army list. It's a great army list. I think somewhere in the video I said I think we have 1 turn left. We ended up getting 2 turns in. Excuse me. We ended up getting 2 turns in. So we got near the end of the game with as many order dice as we were rolling. We were going along pretty quickly. I don't think time affected the game. I don't remember exactly, but I know we did get 2 turns in from when I said that in the video, which I'm glad. I want to give our opponents a chance. So here's kind of the central. There's a bomb right up there by that lieutenant, and we said we didn't really need the lieutenant, and so we sent him out there for bomb duty. On a 1, 2, or 3, the bomb goes away, or a 1 or 2, something like that. And a 4 in the middle rolls, it just kind of sits idle, and then on a 6 it explodes. So there's one, you see those Frenchmen or Finnish in that cornfield? There's a token up there with a Panzer next to it. There's a bomb right out in front in that alley. So we're far enough away it doesn't explode, but it's up there. And in order for me to get in a good defensive position to try to defend against the hordes, one of the 2 of us, either Ryan or my tank, are going to have to drive over it to see if it blows up. So that's risky, and anytime I move on an advance or run, I could run out of fuel. So fortunately in the middle, we did move a squad into this house here. And this is kind of later in the game. In the center, the Finnish came out here and he went into some ambush. Our opponents, this was a big dead ground. He had a unit come up around the back of this house. That's a bazooka right there behind the thing there. So this was a huge exchange. They did a charge, and Ryan moved one of his squads out into the opens where he could charge them. He charged with the squad behind the house. I had my tank on ambush, and they kind of forgot about that. And I gunned the entire squad down. They failed their check right before they got to the finish. So that would have been awesome in a movie. Just like the ground churning up and the partisan charge goes south. And then another part of the game we didn't capture very much is Ryan's snipers and their 2 snipers. Ryan did a good job of moving his guys because the Finnish snipers can move and go into ambush. So he's able to move in a way where both his snipers were picking on one of the partisan snipers, and he was able to win that battle. This is an earlier shot of where the bombs are I was talking about. There's 2 in the center there. So the lieutenant deactivates 1, and the other one I think deactivated 2. I basically drove a tank right over the top of it. So that could have changed the game if they would have rolled a bomb result. It would have definitely done the D6 pins and +4 penetration on a tank. So yeah, it would have been bad. So here's the far right token. They've got a lot of stuff in ambush. They put that bomb up on that hill there, which is pretty sharp because there's a token straight across in that courtyard, and they didn't want us getting in a good firing position up there and prepping for some kind of ambush, because they've got a lot of outflankers and they can use this rock outcropping to get them on the board, because the bombs never blow up for the partisans. Here's just a center shot early in the game. That squad behind the house is the one that came up and then died in the field. Yeah, this is a very tense. We had like 3 games going on, one in the center. The right so much was more of a stalling. They were stalling on their reserves to try to get I had a flame panzer in reserve on outflank. So, and then on the left it was kind of the same at first. They were stalling, and then we ended up pushing it. I think I got a picture of it. There's just more center pictures. That squad there they're just kind of get on that token and hide behind the house. So it's pretty interesting because, yeah, I got some pictures of it, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that, I guess. Here we go. So this Flampanzer, he had a squad of he had a flamethrower on the right hand side. It came in. My Flampanzer came in. I think it was a flamethrower. That's something. My Flampanzer came in on an advance and killed it. And then on the next turn, basically the last turn of the game, it drove up to this wall. And his truck, he decided to, because I had my tank on ambush, play it safe, and he ran him back behind this fence, and then was turning up to come up. But I hit it with a flamethrower. I launched a flamethrower shot over the top of these infantry and my machine gun, and I was able to hit the truck, and it exploded. The guys took. I rolled a critical damage, so I think I rolled a dead, and then I rolled like a crew stun. So they took 2 pins. They took the D3 from the flamethrower. They didn't have to take the flamethrower check because the target was the tank, but I rolled, I think, really good. They were all inexperienced, like 10 inexperienced, 12 inexperienced guys, and I rolled really good, and I think I forced a check, and they died, or there's just a few left. This is the right-hand side. I never did anything with my flamethrower in the Kuba wagon. It's just mainly a threat from outflankers. Ryan's in ambush there. I'm in ambush, so we just really kind of had this token sealed that they would have had to done a suicide mission. Here, the center, this was huge. I drove over the thing. I managed to not run out of fuel. Some of my other tanks ran out of fuel on the center of the board. But drove over the thing, right up next to it anyway. So I could kind of, I didn't quite make it to the wall. I wanted to be able to defend that wall so I could fire over the top of it. But he got there first. But I got in the way. So you'd have to, we had said at the beginning of the game that this brown was rough ground. So I'm guarding that left wall, so he'd have to kind of run around. He didn't have enough turns to get there, and Ryan had a finish squad. On the far left, it was a kind of a standoff for a little bit, and we went ahead and brought our truck in. Well, Ryan did, brought his truck in with his Cockapurdo squad, a squad in the truck, and then the Cockapurdo squad on outflank. They all kind of came in. The squad came in first, and the Partisans erupted like a beehive. There was like 2 squads of 10. And then a truck came in, and a bunch of pistol guys jumped out and gunned them down. Oh, no. No, it was a flamethrower. Flamethrower came in, killed the truck. The squad fell out. And then Ryan had 2 guys left alive, and they survived. So on the next order dice, Ryan charges them with his 2 remaining Cockapurdo, or not, 2 remaining veterans now, right? And the flamethrower team kicked their ass. It was like a nobody hit, and then the flamethrowers got a hit, and they killed the remaining 2 guys. The Cockapurdo squad got just overwhelmed with pistol guys and all kinds of things. Died, but they did do a good job of freezing that left flank for a long time. They didn't die in vain. So he wasn't able to. I was able to get my tank in a position, and his squad in ambush. We just stayed there. He would have had to run across. I mean, he had enough stuff, but he didn't have enough movement to contest that token. Yeah, it was a brutal bloodbath on our left flank. We just were throwing squads into the meat grinder. The Partisans on that side were probably cheering and looting dead bodies, but in the end, we were able to hold. I think you scored so many points per token, and or the majority of the tokens, and we had 3 of the 4 in our grasp, and we contested the other one. We did get there was those little side. I know there were no side mission things in this one, but yeah, we were able to score a win. So that was good as a major win, because they did do major and minors. So we got a major win. So we're going to move to the next table.